Every public figure has a bad day. But what if your bad days are a collection of spectacularly public, brand-destroying moments? If you live for this kind of royalty, and I know you do me a favor and subscribe to the Star Report right now. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get right to it. Heels versus history. The life of a new royal is a minefield of potential slip-ups, sometimes, literally. Let's go back to 2018, just after the wedding. Meghan is attending the wedding of Harry's cousin. The pressure is on, the cameras are flashing, and she is wearing a stunning Oscar de la Renta dress, paired with some very sharp, very white, very expensive stiletto heels. The problem? The wedding is on grass. Ancient, unforgiving, royal estate grass. And as she's walking, it happens. The heel sinks, and she takes a full-on tumble, only saving herself by grabbing onto Harry's hand at the last second. The press was actually kind about this one, praising her for handling the moment gracefully. But it was the perfect metaphor for her entire royal career. A woman in Hollywood stilettos trying to navigate a world of soft, tricky, traditional turf she just wasn't prepared for. A physical stumble is one thing, you can laugh that off. A professional, on-stage stumble in front of your new colleagues, that's a whole different level of awkward. The teleprompter's revenge. This brings us to the Endeavor Fund ceremony. Meghan and her co-host take the stage, all smiles, ready to present an award. It's a simple read the prompter, hand out the trophy kind of gig, until it's not. They get to the podium and realize their notes are completely, hopelessly scrambled. The wrong category, the wrong winner. It's all a mess. What follows is that beautiful, agonizing silence that only happens in live theater, punctuated by Meghan's nervous, high-pitched giggling as she shuffles papers.
I think you're here. Okay, here.
Is this it? Here we go.
I think so.
Thank you.
She tries to save it by just handing her notes over to her co-host, as if to say, "You deal with this." It was that nightmare every public speaker has, come to life. It was a chaotic, disorganized moment that just screamed amateur hour, and you could see the panic in her eyes. But hey, a simple teleprompter error is nothing compared to actively, and some would say gleefully, defying the royal code. The dark nail polish incident. Let's talk about the 2018 British Fashion Awards. Meghan makes a surprise appearance to present an award to her wedding dress designer. The crowd goes wild. But the internet, and probably the palace, immediately fixated on two very specific things. First, the nail polish. She was wearing a dark, vampy, almost black lacquer. This was a huge protocol breach. The Queen famously preferred neutral shades and light pinks. This dark Hollywood polish was seen as a deliberate, edgy, "I do what I want" statement. Second, and far more awkwardly, was the baby bump cradle. For the entire time, the winner, Claire Waite Keller, was giving her acceptance speech. Meghan just stood there, hands locked over her stomach, cradling her bump in a way that just sucked all the attention back to her.
It is my privilege to announce that we have a very special guest to announce the winner, Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex.
It was her first big solo Hollywood moment as a royal, and it just came off as performative and self-focused. She wasn't just presenting an award, she was starring in the presentation. That "I'm the main character" energy didn't always play well when she was surrounded by people who were, actually the main characters. Turn around. Now. We've talked about this one before, but it bears repeating because it's just so brutal. Trooping the Color, 2019. This is the family's most rigid, formal, and public event. The entire family is on the balcony, the Queen is front and center, and the main activity is standing still. The national anthem starts playing. Everyone is facing forward, silent. Meghan, however, seems to be under the impression it's a casual cocktail party. She keeps turning back to chat with Harry. She turns around once. He ignores her. She turns around again, and this time, Harry snaps. You don't need to be a professional lip reader to see him curtly tell her to turn around. Her face immediately drops, that practiced smile freezes, and she pivots back to the front, looking like she was just put in timeout in front of the entire world, which she was. That tension was visible everywhere. It was especially frosty between the Fab Four. The scarf is more interesting. Let's call this Scarfgate, a masterclass in the royal cold shoulder. The setting is a formal event. Meghan is trying her absolute best to make conversation with Prince William. She's leaning in, she's smiling, she's in full charm offensive mode. William, in response, proceeds to become fascinated with adjusting his scarf, utterly, completely absorbed by the thread count, the fabric, the very concept of the scarf. He doesn't look at her. He doesn't nod. He just blanks her. For what feels like an eternity. Was it an intentional icy snub, or just spectacularly bad timing? The internet, and honestly my eyes, decided it was the former, but the family drama was just the appetizer. The real brand ruin moments came when she was on her own, trying to craft her own narrative. Thanks for asking if I'm okay. This moment, from the 2019 South Africa tour, is perhaps the most defining read the room fail of her entire career. The tour was meant to highlight poverty, inequality, and social issues. In an interview, she gets emotional. She talks about the immense pressure she's under from the media. And then she delivers the line that will live in infamy. Not many people have asked if I'm okay.
Yeah, well, I guess, and also thank you for asking, because not many people have asked if I'm okay. But it's a very real thing to be going through behind the scenes.
It was a vulnerable admission, but it landed like a brick. She was a literal duchess, wearing designer clothes on a multi-million-dollar royal tour, complaining about her emotional struggles while surrounded by people in actual, generational poverty. The lack of self-awareness was staggering, and for many, it was the moment the mask of compassionate advocate slipped. That disconnect, that let them eat cake vibe, became a running theme. Let them eat cashmere. Fast forward to 2021. She's out of the royal family and building her new American brand. She visits a low-income school in Harlem to promote her children's book, The Bench. A lovely gesture, right? What do you wear for such an occasion? If you're Meghan, you wear a $7,500 Loro Piana cashmere outfit, complete with a $5,000 coat and tens of thousands of dollars in jewelry. She sat there, dripping in designer gear, reading her book to children, 95% of whom were eligible for free school meals.
And I haven't ever read it to any other kids besides our own kids, so I'm really excited now I get to read it to you.
The optics are just disastrous. To make it worse, reports swirled that her team had a list of demands for the visit, including a new carpet and special cushions for her to sit on. It was less compassionate advocate and more Marie Antoinette goes to story time. The over-the-top outfits weren't just for charity, though. They were for date night, too, and the timing was just as bad. The black tie premiere, for one. This year, 2024, the premiere of the Bob Marley movie One Love in Jamaica. It's a relatively casual event. Harry is there in a suit, no tie. The Jamaican Prime Minister is in a blazer. It's a relaxed vibe. Meghan, however, shows up in a massive, black, floor-length Carolina Herrera ball gown. She looked like she was sweeping into the Oscars, while everyone else was just going to a movie. The outfit was weird enough, but the timing was what made it truly embarrassing. This was right as the palace had just announced that King Charles was going to the hospital for a procedure and that Kate Middleton was recovering from major abdominal surgery. The royals were in a full-blown health crisis, and the Sussexes were grinning and posing on a red carpet. It felt calculated, petty, and deeply tone-deaf. But nothing, and I mean nothing, has done more damage to her image than the self-produced moments, the ones she chose to show the world. Medieval times and treason. This brings us to the infamous Harry and Meghan Netflix docuseries. Her big chance to tell her side of the story, and she decides to use it to describe the first time she met the late Queen. She recounts being asked to curtsy and proceeds to perform a giant, goofy, sarcastic, medieval times dinner and tournament-style bow, laughing as she does it.
I remember we're in the car and driving up and he's, you know how to curtsy, right? And I just thought it was a joke.
Harry just sits there, looking like he wants to shrink into the couch and die. To a British and Commonwealth audience, mocking the Queen, who had just passed, and mocking one of the most basic signs of respect in that culture, was borderline treasonous. It was arrogant, disrespectful, and it was the moment many people went from on the fence to, nope, she's awful. And the Netflix doc was truly the gift that kept on giving. Beyoncé just texted. In another bizarre, thirsty moment from the same docuseries, she's sitting on a couch talking to Harry. Her phone buzzes. Her eyes go wide, and she whispers to her husband. Beyoncé just texted. Harry, to his credit, just says, shut up. But she goes on, gushing. I still can't believe she knows who I am.
Beyoncé just texted. Really meant.
Shut up.
Just checking in.
Just checking in, just casual.
I still can't
believe
believe she knows who I am.
This is a grown woman, a duchess, married to the sixth in line to the British throne, acting like a star-struck teenager. It completely undercut all the powerful woman branding she was trying to build. It just felt needy. This need to be the center of attention, the one holding the mic, is a powerful and recurring force. Just give me the mic. This is a recent one. She's on stage at a star-studded charity event for Kevin Costner. She's there with him and the event's host. The host is holding the microphone, doing his job, speaking. And Meghan, just reaches for it. Mid-sentence. She just tries to take the mic. The host, understandably confused, doesn't let go. This creates a truly bizarre, awkward, silent tug-of-war for about 3 seconds. What was she going to say? Was she hijacking the show? We'll never know, because the host held strong. But it's that I'm the main character, I speak now, instinct caught on camera, and it's so uncomfortable to watch. It's one thing to grab a mic, but grabbing someone else's trophy? That's next level. That's not your trophy. Back to the polo field. Harry's team has won. Meghan is on stage for the photo op, handing out the prizes. She gives one of Harry's teammates his small, square prize box, and then she seems to try and take it back from him, presumably so she can hold it for the photo op. The player, rightly, holds on to his own trophy. He's not giving it up. This forces Meghan to give up, and she has to awkwardly duck under Harry's arm to get back into her position. It was clumsy, weird, and just. Why? Why do you need to hold his trophy? It's that same impulse. Everything is a prop for her photo. From protocol fails to trophy bombs, it's a masterclass in how to alienate just about everyone. What's the moment that officially gave you the ick? Let me know in the comments. See you next time.